Today on Xenolidon, DC motor death matches. So I got a whole bunch of these little DC motors from a friend of mine, and these are all quite old motors. They look like something that I grew up with as a child. And the problem is that they have been sitting around so long that all of the grease and everything else inside has pretty much gone the way of the dodo. So, because it's a learning channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test out different household slippery things and see if they help with the lubricity of the motor. So I have taken apart 20 of these motors, and I'll be putting different things in these motors. Everything from Sunscreen, WD40, Tri-Flow, mineral oil, and so on. Got a whole bunch of different things to try. It'll be a lot of fun. We let a lot of smoke out of these motors. Some of these motors don't even turn. So that's how bad they are. How does a factory original work? Well, let's hook it up and show you just how bad these things really are. Got my little desktop power supply here, and these things are supposed to run pretty well on 3 volts. We'll see what happens. And all these tests are going to be run at not 3 volts, but 12 volts. So it'll make sure that they're accurate. More power, more accuracy, right? We got one of these motors connected up, and as you can see, it's not even spinning on 4 volts. So give it a little bit of a turn, see if we can get it started up. Here we go. That's a terrible sound indeed. Let's turn it up to 12 volts and see what happens. I'm gonna put this motor in this vise. It's trying to communicate up to 12 volts. That's a lot quieter now. Right. Let's get to testing. Like with all competitions, there must be some rules and guidelines. So here I have a phone, and I'll be using the timer on the phone to see how long each one of these motors has run for. And I've used a Sharpie to color the top of the motor shaft as an indicator as whether it's still rotating or not. All this information will be in a chart at the end of the video. Here I have a baseline comparison between a factory original and a bare motor without any kind of lubricant at all. And then I'll get into the deathmatch challenges between different things that might help the lubricity of the motor. I also have a reigning champion motor that the winner of the death matches will go up against at the end of the video. So hopefully that'll be fun. Anyway, let's get this going between the factory original and the dry motor and get a baseline comparison, and we'll see which one of these win. I think the factory won. I think this one stopped just a little before. Round 1. We have 2-cycle engine oil, like your father uses that fixes snowblower in winter. And we have sewing machine oil, like his mother uses to fix his sweater in winter. But which one has the yearning for turning? Time to find out. Look at that. 2-cycle engine oil comes out with a massive lead. Round 2, we have the original, highest of qualities turbine oil with zoom spout. It'll oil everything that needs oiling, and these motors definitely need some of that. And over here we have mineral oil. Not really sure where it comes from, but does it do as much good as minerals do with a human body? It's time to find out. Finally. It's still going. I'm calling it. It looks like this motor just isn't going to die anytime soon. Ideal for use on electric motors? Yeah, I'd say. We might have our competitor for the Grand Master at the end of the video. Highest quality turbine oil indeed. Round 3. Our next two contestants, WD40 and KL123. Both of them extremely flammable, good for cleaning, corrosion prevention, penetrating, and lubricating. But what about rotating? Let's find out. Ooh, it's close. but WD-40 barely wins. Round 4, our comparators. One is Rapid Tap, which helps for tapping and dyeing thread work on different metal parts. Well, it doesn't help with dyeing. And Tri-Flow, another type of WD-40 all-purpose spray lubricant. So is trying better, or would the Rapid Tap action cut out the competition? Time to find out. What's the moral of today's story? In some cases, it's better to rush with the rapids than to go with the flow. Round 5. We're stepping away from the shelves of the shop and into the cabinets of the kitchen. We have 2 oils here, canola oil and sesame seed oil. One is good for Asian cuisine, the other best left to fish and chips. But how will they handle cooking your motors? I'm calling it. Unbelievable. It's canola oil that brings us a delicious smell of victory for this round, and we'll be moving up to battle turbine fluid in the semifinals. Round 6. Our 2 competitors are arc suppression oil and peppermint oil. Well, one of them is added to things like transformers and high voltage multipliers to prevent electrical breakdown. The other one is added to things like keys to help prevent mental breakdown. But which one will be best at preventing motor breakdown? Let's find out. Well, arc suppression oil. It's not just for transformers. Well, it's not really for motors either. But it did win this round. Round 7. Our two competitors are camp stove fuel and kerosene. They're both excellent at sustaining flames, but how will they sustain a fired up motor? Round 7, slightly happier camper is camp stove fuel. Round 8, our competitors are dish soap, which helps get your dishes squeaky clean, and laundry detergent, which goes into your favorite agitating machine. But which one will help with the agitating sounds coming out of your small DC hobby motor? Well, Neither one of these are better than nothing. Round 9. First comparator is vegetable glycerin, and it's used for things like dielectrics, a laxative. If you mix it with certain chemicals, it spontaneously combusts. Also used for vaping, fog machines, and other things for your pleasure. And over here, shampoo, because after learning all those facts about vegetable glycerin, you might need a shower. But which one is best for your motor's pleasure? See, it's vegetable glycerin for a happy ending. Round 10, our two comparators are hand lotion, which prevents cracking and chafing, and sunscreen, which prevents your body from baking. But which one's better at protecting your motor's shaft? Ooh, that was a close. But the sunscreen comes in as a winner. It's now time for our 15-volt semifinal death match between our two best competitors. Canola oil, proving that it has the can-do attitude both in and out of the kitchen. And Mr. Turbine Oil, it'll lubricate a fool. Incredible. Canola oil is undefeated and proving that it has what it takes to cook the competition continuously. But does it have what it takes to defeat the ball bearing? Ladies and gentlemen, or people with strange gambling addictions, it's time for our final round. Up against the unsuspected competition killer from the kitchen, canola oil. Up against the master of mechanical rotation, the ball bearing. This is going to be a little bit of a different round. We're going to start it off at 12 volts, and for every 15 seconds, I'm going to raise it up to 1 volt. We're going to go all the way up to 20 volts with this one. It's both an endurance challenge and a burnout challenge. So, let's see which one will win this final round. Incredible! Canola oil takes home the win as this video's undefeated champion.
Here are the results from the DC motor death matches, and quite a few interesting results indeed. Firstly, I did not expect canola oil to do as well as it did, but it proved time and time again that it does a pretty good job at lubricating small DC motors. I wouldn't recommend this for larger ones, but if you're having problems with a small hobby motor, it doesn't seem to hurt it at all. Another thing that surprised me was just how poorly the cleaning products seemed to work. I think this has a lot to do with how much water was in each product, and as it evaporated, the product lost lubricity and kind of turned into a sticky mess. I must admit, I had a lot of shameless fun letting all the magic smoke out of a whole bunch of DC motors, and although we got interesting results, I can't really recommend that you put canola oil in all of your DC motors. Everything has its purpose, and the purpose of this video was a little bit of fun and a little bit of science. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, stay tuned for more.